Hello everyone, our research presentation is about measuring the effects of using calm versus chaotic music to examine memory efficiency, presented by Matt, Elijah, Zakoya, and Zane. Starting with our table of content, we will introduce our research with a brief introduction, followed by our research study. Including our rationale and our hypothesis, we will also mention the participants and our recruitment process. After that, we will discuss the procedure, data collection materials, and feasibility. By the end, we will discuss our conclusion and our references.
Introduction to research. Investigations into how music influences memory and cognitive performance has been ongoing for almost a century. Early work revealed that music, especially emotionally complex or melancholic music, often hindered memory performance during learning tasks, with silence consistently yielding the best results. Later studies refined our understanding of how music characteristics, such as arousal level, presence of lyrics, and emotional tone, can impact memory. Low arousal, instrumental music was found to enhance memory or at least be non-disruptive. Silence remained a strong baseline for optimal performance in many studies. Lyrical or high arousal music frequently impaired short-term memory, comprehension, and recall. Individual differences such as gender, working memory capacity, and even cultural background were also shown to moderate the impact of background music on cognitive tasks. These mixed results point to the importance of considering not just whether music is present, but what type of music is played and who is listening. Our research question: does background music affect memory and studying? If so, is there a specific genre of music that works better than others? How does the auditory setting of silence, calming lo-fi music, and/or lyrical music affect the memory of college students while completing cognitive tasks? Rationale. While previous research suggests that calming, low-arousal instrumental music may support cognitive performance, the findings remain inconsistent, often due to a variability in music types used in previous research, a lack of standardization in cognitive tasks across testing, small or non-diverse samples which limit scope, and then unexplored genres like lo-fi music, which has been shown to be a popular choice among students currently. Our study aims to address these gaps by focusing on lo-fi music, which is characterized by its non-lyrical, ambient, and low arousal qualities. This is theorized to be the ideal auditory setting for testing cognitive performance without overstimulating participants. Using standardized verbal memory tasks to ensure consistent measurement across conditions, sampling from a diverse college population, which should be representative of current student listening habits, and comparing three controlled conditions: calming lo-fi, silence, and disruptive lyrical high arousal music. By doing so, we aim to clarify whether lo-fi music specifically is in fact beneficial, neutral, or a source of distraction when it comes to cognitive performance.
The hypothesis for our research study is that calming lo-fi music will be the most effective in memory retention, followed by no music, and lastly, disruptive, lyrical, and arousing music. Our objective of this study is to investigate which auditorial environment of calm music, chaotic music, or silence is most beneficial for memory in college students. This is to inform more effective study strategies. Based on trends and information based in our literature review, we suspect that calming music will be the most effective in enhancing cognitive functioning due to its non-lyrical and therefore non-arousing aspects, and previous research showing that it's influential regarding memory and cognitive functioning. This will contrast with disruptive music as it contains criteria such as arousal beats and lyrical intensity, previously shown to disrupt cognitive functioning and memory processes. Therefore, we will analyze and compare the auditorial environments of calm music, chaotic music, and silence to identify which is most beneficial for memory. The participants of our study must be 17 years of age or older with a high school diploma. This includes undergraduates, college students, and postgraduate students. Ideally, participants who are actively involved in post-secondary education. Due to the study requiring online form taking, participants must also be technologically informed and have access to tech and the internet. Due to the nature of our study, this excludes any non-student under the age of 17, also anyone with hearing impairments, and individuals without access to the internet or technology. Due to our research being online, this creates no limitations on gender identity, location, and culture. Because college students regularly engage in studying, which includes the function of memory and recall, and often self-select their auditory conditions, the online format allows for a larger and more diverse sample, more generalized compared to prior research. To recruit college students, we will utilize online platforms such as social media, apps like WhatsApp, Instagram stories, Reels and posts, Facebook posts, and TikTok videos. We wish to recruit 50 to 100 participants. Using an eye-catching post will be uploaded to social media, encouraging interested students to follow the link to participate in our studies. Then individuals will see a brief study description and estimate time it will take to complete, using incentives such as Amazon gift cards. Following will include a screening form to determine eligibility, leading them to an informed consent form. And after confirmation of eligibility and consent, they will proceed to the experiment.
Now on to the procedure. The steps of our procedure includes 6 key phases. Starting with the recruitment, with the mentioned criteria of our participants, the recruitment will be used via social media outlets like TikTok and Instagram with a created main page that contains our research and a link tree that access the consent form, the raffle entry form, and other important information of our study. Through the consent form, which is in the second step, that will connect via the link tree that includes the raffle entry, the consent form, and the questionnaire using Google Forms. Other information regarding the study, risks, and benefits will also be provided. Now on to the third step, which is the instructions, which comes after the consent process. Participants will be directed to the experiment form that contains instructions and appropriate links to the musical conditions when using the human benchmark cognitive tests. After understanding the instructions, participants can now engage into the experiment. During each phase, the no music, the lo-fi music, and chaotic music, participants will engage in 2 cognitive activities per phase. The cognitive activities include semantic memory and verbal memory. While in conducting the experiment, the participants will also follow the result process in this phase, which contains instructions to provide the results after each phase through Google Forms by taking a screenshot of the score that they have conducted and submitting it in the text box as well, using each attempt as a form of data to collect for our research. Now on to the last step. The post-experiment questionnaire is the final step of our research once the experiment is completed. Participants will be debriefed and thanked for their time, followed by a quick questionnaire that they can provide their feedback. Now on to the data collection materials. Materials for our data collection mainly includes 3 key tools: Google Forms, Human Benchmark website, and SPSS, specifically the ANOVA. Google Forms specifically has been selected as the main format to administer our assessment, tests, and surveys based on its familiarity with participants to use with ease and versatility. Onto the Human Benchmark website. This website was selected because it offers reliable, confidential, and validated cognitive tests that are accessible without needing to provide any information to the participants. These activities allows us to measure reaction time and memory. Lastly, SPSS. The statistical package for social science was chosen for our familiarity to measure our collected data, specifically the ANOVA analysis, as this feature for this tool is significant to our study to measure the value of our dependent variable.
And now for the feasibility of the proposal in accordance to the CIHR peer review manual. As for the feasibility of our approaches and methods, for the first evaluation checkpoint, A, are the approaches and methods appropriate to deliver the proposed outputs and achieve the proposed contributions to advancing health-related knowledge, care, systems, and/or outcomes? We used a collection of custom surveys and screening tools which will be beneficial to our study's contributions to health outcomes by ensuring we have the appropriate criteria outlines for our study. Additionally, tools like Human Benchmark will be able to provide concise and ample analytical data on our participants and their cognitive functioning during the trials. As for ethical criterion, the sex as well as the background of the participants is not a criteria for our experiment results. As stated in our participants section, we are looking for appropriate age, technological comprehension, and preferably in post-secondary. Additionally, our experiment shall aim to provide more concrete data on the effectiveness of this calming music and cognitive functioning, which could have far-reaching positive consequences for various peoples with memory or cognitive decline. Next, evaluation checkpoint B. Are the timelines and related deliverables of the project realistic? We have spaced out deliverables to ensure that our study is being withheld to the utmost standards, providing ample time for prior research analysis, study, and experiment design, feasibility and ethical considerations, as well as exploration into outcomes. Additionally, our experiment is able to be completed in a timely manner due to our inclusion of Human Benchmark. This allows our participants to play a game under a minute and get an appropriate score they can submit. The appropriate musical condition will also be provided via a link to the song's audio in the survey. And last, evaluation checkpoint C. Does the proposal identify potential challenges and appropriate mitigation strategies? Potential challenges have been conceptualized and planned for via criteria in our screening. Analytical challenges, such as the method in which we will be able to accurately test cognitive improvements, have been made, addressed, and planned for via Human Benchmark, which we have had cleared by the REB. As for the participants being able to engage in the study effectively and in a timely manner, we have worked extensively to conceptualize and outline experience, including our musical conditions, memory test, Human Benchmark, and submission of their results via screenshot to make our experiment less challenging to engage in, especially for those in our participation range, i.e. college students over the age of 17 with access to the internet. Now, for the feasibility of expertise, experience, and resources. For the first evaluation checkpoint, A. Do the applicants bring the appropriate expertise and experience to lead and deliver the proposed outputs to achieve the proposed contributions? All of us are in our fourth year as behavioral psychology students under direct supervision of professors with PhDs in respective fields. We are all competent in our field of study as well as students with an eagerness to apply our theory. As for roles and responsibilities, our primary investigator upon mutual agreement is Zane S. Additionally, all group members have agreed to responsibilities list, which includes agreements on splitting raffle rewards, who is responsible for which aspects of the research project, and editors. Additionally, all group work has been split upon evenly based on applicant skill and preference. For the next checkpoint, B, is there an appropriate level of engagement and/or commitment from the applicants? All members of the group are passionate and committed to the progress and outcomes of our study. We have all spent equal time in dividing workload based on our skills, not on unequalness. Additionally, we all have an agreed personal interest in this topic and have been planning roughly for this as well as our group since prior to the project start. On top of this, all members have devised and agreed upon contractual terms stating our expectations and requirements for our group members and study. For evaluation checkpoint C, is the environment appropriate to enable the conduct and success of the project? Our study has been developed with the supervision and feedback from both Professor Kayan Fak and Professor Ibrahim Kantini. Professor Kayan Fak has expert knowledge on statistical analysis, which provides a great resource for data and analysis. The environment of our experiment has been beneficial in organizing and spreading apart the deliverableness of the project, ensuring our success. And lastly, evaluation checkpoint D. Does the applicant adequately demonstrate productivity, progress, and impact of their research program? We've been progressing through our research project, meeting the stages set out for us, and implementing feedback cohesively and in a timely manner. All deliverables have been split up over a long duration and submitted on time. All of us have a shared track record of being students who submit high-quality work and on time. Albeit this is our first experiment, we have presented and proved time and time again our expertise in the field, as well as our commitment to furthering behavioral psychology. Now, for the conclusions of our study and presentation, followed by our references. As for conclusions, we expect calming background music to be the most effective at enhancing the cognitive functioning of our participants due to what we have read on the topic during our literature review. The reasoning behind this being the most effective is attributed to the coalition of both non-lyrical and non-arousing aspects of lo-fi music. This genre possesses aspects that prior studies have shown to be influential regarding memory or cognitive functioning. This will contrast with disruptive music as it contains criteria such as arousing beats and lyrical intensity previously shown to be disruptive to cognitive functioning and memory processes. Hence why we expect this area to be the most negatively affected during our trials. As for the baseline or no music condition, neutral or baseline responses are expected due to its previously found neutral effect on cognitive functioning and memory processes. This is to say that it doesn't have a positive nor negative effect. Altogether, we expect our study to positively contribute to the scientific and psychological exploration of music/soundscapes and their effect on our psychological and cognitive processes, as well as memory, as we have identified many calls for future research and gaps in the current knowledge base that we are expanding on with our experiment, ensuring that all throughout that this study and experiment are feasible, creative, clear, and conceptually sound.
Hope you found our presentation and our research as interesting as we do. Here are the following references. Thank you for watching.